Hey guys, it's Rob here, and we're back at the Inferno to see if we can get a sub 65 with an ACB and no Slayer task. I also want to mention we are using Ring of the Gods, so we don't have to prayer flick basically at all. Ring of the Gods is my personal favorite Inferno ring for chill runs, and speed runs included. Also just wanted to say be sure to subscribe if you aren't already and like the video, and I hope you enjoy the run. Hey guys, so just starting the waves here, and we're gonna try to do the fastest run we can while using pretty chill strats, so going to try to focus up in this one. I might not talk as much at certain points, but the beginning will be relatively easy. But the goal for this run is a sub 65 with an Armadillo crossbow off task. So as you can see, we don't have the Slayer task. We're actually bringing the Missouri mask, which is not an item I bring pretty much ever in any of my videos, but it is like the best off-task helmet if you're experienced. We're gonna do a slight bit of prayer conservation, but because we have the Ring of the Gods, it's such a strong choice for the ring slot. It really allows us to not really have to conserve too much. You'll see I turn off my prayers in between waves a little bit, but in general, I'm not gonna have to stress too much about that. And yes, I, of course, will make some mistakes throughout the waves, but that's what Blood Barrage is for. Hopefully it hits. And the goal with the mage gear is to hopefully be able to hit this mage bloblet more often. There we got a little bit unlucky, but hopefully in general we'll be able to one-shot the mage bloblet. Okay, that was completely intentional. Don't want to get drained by the bat, so we're prioritizing killing the bat here before we pray against the blob. And we can always Blood Barrage off of the mini blobs here. Also, those of you who are paying close attention might realize we're getting close to a double blob wave, which, when you get more experience at the Inferno, is basically a free health wave. Wow, we missed on all of those. But yeah, when you're experienced, if you stand in the middle, these things are always going to be on the same tick, and then I'm just praying against these as if they're just one single blob, so it's actually easier than it might look. Here I'm missing a prayer, but also the wave after the double blob is a nibbler wave, so we have plenty of opportunity to heal up here. Not to mention we have 3 brews in our inventory if we need them, but for now we can just chill and heal with Blood Barrage when we can. And with the Virtus and the Confliction Gauntlets, we're going to be one-shotting the Nibblers most of the time, which is very nice. And the one thing that you might have realized, or may not have realized, is that the Armadillo crossbow is actually pretty shit for the waves themselves. It's really only used for Zuck, so that actually means we're going to be using blowpipe for the entirety of the waves, which is really interesting and actually proves to be a bit of a challenge in this run. Well, I say that as if it's past test. I mean, I'm literally in this right now. This is live commentary, just saying. But I know it. I know it will be. But anyway, we're just gonna turn off rigor in between the waves here when we can, just to conserve a tiny bit of prayer. And we're going to protect our North Pillar, because North Pillar is very important. And throughout the run, we're going to want to keep a very close eye on our Divine Bastion timer, as well as our Prayer Regen timer, because those are both timers that we don't want to let them ever really run out. So this Divine Bastion runs out now. And on waves that, on any wave you consider hard, you want to just have... Fun fact, from this starting tile, the meleeer here gets trapped. So that's actually kind of one of the reasons why we use that start tile. saving a little bit of time by making sure I don't kill the meleeer last, but it's pretty marginal. Not gonna lie, kind of getting messed up by this blob here. But hopefully we'll heal, so... These are actually fairly risky waves on the speedrun. They're kind of like waves that people will die on a lot. So we're just gonna make sure we blood barrage to save some health and make sure we're playing safe. So again, we're gonna blood barrage here. And we're just gonna take it very simple and just kill the blob. Nothing crazy. Especially on a wave like this. This is a wave where you can take a lot of damage if you're not careful, so just playing it safe, making sure we get some health back with blood barrage is important. So next we have wave 15, which is double blob, but as long as we play the beginning of the wave clean, we should be good on that. But these are like this wave and the next wave are pretty much the hard waves for now, so here we'll just start with blood barrage. So that nibbler's alive, but not for long, so it's not a big deal. It's just one of them as well. You have to pay attention to how many there are on the pillar as well. So just kind of keeping an eye on my prayer regen timer. I do want to make sure that I'm prayer regenning as soon as it runs out, so I'm kind of keeping an eye on it so I know soon I'm going to prayer regen. I technically have a little bit more prayer regen than I need. Here, a little trick is if you phantom barrage that, even if that middle nibbler wasn't the one that was still alive, it still would have killed the remaining ones most likely, because it just hits all three of them again. Here we can prayer regen. I think as soon as it gets to like 6 seconds, it does its last tick. I don't know why I'm not in my mage gear. Nice. Unfortunately, that one lives with 1 HP, and then we splash. Now the range waves, but really 14 and 15, or 13 and 14, whichever, I don't know, whichever two waves those were really the ones that we had to watch out for. The 2 bats and then the 2 blobs. Can get a little tricky. But in general, you see this Ring of the Gods, it's like the most underrated part of this whole setup. Very, very OP. Like, people continue to sleep on this ring, in my opinion at least. I don't see a lot of people using it. I use it all the time. Basically, you'll see I'm gonna get a sub 65, or I should get a sub 65, and I'm not gonna have to do a lot of prayer flicking. I'll do a little bit of conservation here and there, turning off my prayers in between waves. Like, turning off rigor here when I see the red is like a really, really good way to save some prayer. Also, I can make my quick prayers the right thing. Just trying not to miss ticks as I make my way to the ranger. Nothing too crazy about these waves. Really, the next hard waves are like 29, 30, 31. So we can just continue to play clean. These waves are particularly easy. Well, not the blob wave, actually. I forgot. I actually thought this was another bat wave. So I know when they see me on the same tick that they're going to be nicely off tick like this. Just kind of how the blob timing works when it first sees you. You see I re-divine right as soon as I can. Get some health back because I'm not 99, so now I'm 99, which is very nice. Just gonna make the waves more chill. Just praying against the bat. The blob's gonna hit us, but it's fine. These are North Pillar bound nibblers, so they're a little bit more important. It's funny, even though this is technically like a sub 65 speedrun, attempt, it's at the end of the day, a lot of the fundamental things remain exactly the same. So, you know, as any Inferno run, really. You see, it's nice with all this mage gear, we're just one-shotting these things very easily, or two-shotting them, I should say, in a lot of cases. Take a max hit there from the blob, which is not what we like to see, but got some blowpipe specs. So, from a high-level perspective, we will have 2 blobs to heal off of next wave, assuming we don't mess up, of course. I mean, obviously, this ranger you'd want to heal off of it if you were feeling unsafe. But I'm gonna also blood barrage these nibblers, so quite annoying spawn. So all we're gonna do is just blood barrage this. I want to kill the nibs here. Wow, those are very tanky nibs. Wonder if I can drag this blob in right as it dies if I run around the corner. That's not what I meant to do, but it'll certainly work. I was really hoping that barrage would hit, but we'll just blowpipe if we don't hit like the second barrage. Not trying to waste a ton of time barraging. And as you can see, the wave after a double blob wave is typically much easier. Why did I turn on piety? What am I doing? Alright, whatever, we just want to kill these. Don't want our pillars taking early damage. We can save the later waves to be our pillar sacrifice waves. Especially with the blowpipe, because some of the solves in the later waves are going to be a little awkward without a good long-range weapon. Armadillo crossbow doesn't really count. And you see, if I instantly cast again a second barrage, I can almost always cast on the remaining nib if there's like 2 and 1, say. Like sometimes there's 2 nibblers next to each other and then one that's separate. So in that case, I was able to freeze everything, which is really nice. Here, I'm just trying to kill the melee because that thing's annoying. I don't want it to dig ideally. And so far, so good. I mean, we got a couple of hard waves coming up. Not this one. This one's very easy. Whoa, turning on thick skin there. We're getting really, really creative. And listen guys, I really wanted to do the thing where I take the Armadillo crossbow, take the Armadillo brew and go, wow, the Armadillo crossbow, Armadillo brew combo got me sub 65, but I just really am not into the Armadillo brew too much. It's annoying having 2 different healing sources that I have to think about which one to use. It's really not as beneficial as I think a lot of people think. Not to say it's like shit or anything, but I just think it's really mostly only good for healers, and even then it's kind of hard to use it properly there. Like, you have to use it and hopefully not miss any extra ticks, because then it's definitely not worth it. So you're gonna see we're gonna redivine. Doesn't have to be like super perfect, but you want to try to get it close to when it runs out. And any other time, if we brew, unless the divine timer is like really, really low, we're gonna just regular Bastion to restore our range level, and that's why we have the regular Bastion. Here we just waited to let the meleeer drag in. We're gonna make sure we save our pillar. I was hoping that would kill it without the full switch, but apparently not. So I think we just got our last tick up from the prayer regen, so we re-prayer regen. I've gotten a lot better at doing that than I used to be, at least. I want the blood barrage there, but I didn't want to miss ticks. So I'll blood barrage now probably. It kind of sucks that this is a hard wave and I want a blood barrage now, but hopefully it kills. We got a good spawn anyway. Tanking an unnecessary blob hit here. We'll just go for this. I'm a big fan of this solve. I think it's pretty chill. Now we'll actually definitely blood barrage. Nice. So now we're actually looking good. Nice, got more health back from that. Arguably could have saved that for next wave, but that's okay. Just leave Rigor on here, maybe. I say maybe because who knows how much we'll have left at the end. Might be pretty low. Alright, just try to avoid some damage there. Because this is Ranger waves, we can just kill the blob first, it's kind of fine. Yeah, don't ask what this blob flicking is. We got some easier waves coming up at least, so we'll definitely get to blood barrage the nibs. That's how I'm thinking about it. Also, the mage gear just helps a lot with this. Because we're almost always going to heal more just from having good mage gear than the bloblets are going to deal to us. And now these are pretty easy waves, so we can actually get a phantom blood barrage off of there. And look, we're full health again. It doesn't actually technically matter that we're full health though, because we do have another 6 Nibbler wave coming up, so not really as impressive as it seems, because we would get a whole nother chance to heal, but it's nice nonetheless. So in fact, we're gonna just focus on conserving a little bit of prayer. Pick up our Samfu here. I don't think blowpiping that saved me that much time here. I'm just dragging this in. This is going to be a common theme of the blowpipe only waves. We're going to have to pull in a lot of stuff. Lack of range is really the bane of our existence in these waves. But it's a manageable handicap. Change our quick prayers quick. Divine is ticking down. And yes, we are in fact blowpiping the mage, as it's better than crossbowing. And yes, that does mean the buckler is for Zuck exclusively. Quite interesting to note. On these waves, we're going to want to start on this start tile just to play it safe. That way we're far away from hopefully any bat spawns. just wanted to give a quick shout out to anyone watching. Just want to say thank you for watching, and we hope you're enjoying so far. I've been definitely enjoying this run so far. Don't know why I killed that bat, but we'll just live with it, I guess. Definitely very excited to be making another video. I never really know what my next video is going to be, but I just enjoy making them nonetheless, so it's always a fun time to be getting to record one. So I'm happy to be here recording another video for sure. I like to say that every time. I don't really know. I always say the same things every time, but hopefully you guys understand why, because I just appreciate all my subbies. What can I say? So if you're here watching, big shout out. So here we notice the mage can't see us, so we want to pray against the blob. Don't know why I did that. It's gonna just pretend you didn't see anything, okay? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm plenty high HP. Can this just hit, please? I had so much mage gear. I don't deserve to miss. Yeah, be careful though. So the good news is I got the Phantom Barrage on the Nibblers, which boosted our health a little bit. The bad news is I took 2 blob hits, which, when you're in full mage gear, is maybe not the best. Turns out Virtus Robes don't have any range defense, so not very helpful against the blob there. Yeah, and I mean, I don't see why not keep the pace up. Alright, definitely don't want to get bat drained. We're gonna get our last prayer regen tick here in a sec, so we're gonna get ready to re-prayer regen. Doesn't have to be like at the exact right timing or anything, but just keep it in mind. I don't know why I didn't flick that. Alright. Don't ask what the flicking is. I mean, at least I'm hitting the flicks, but I'm being very creative with it. Okay, the mage actually died that time. That's interesting. Okay, I'm not gonna pray against it. I'm just gonna one-tick alternate it. Brain off, one-tick alternate. I'm not even gonna boot up the brain if I don't need to. Hell no. So I think they're on the same. I think they're on like this. No, I don't think they're on the same tick actually. I can't even tell, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm doing the 3-tick alternate trick. So if you 3-tick alternate your prayers, it doesn't matter what tick the blobs are on, they'll always be prayed against. That's just like a little trick. But it's kind of hard to use if you're new to the Inferno. Like, it's more of like a advanced kind of strategy. I need to get health back, that's why I'm trying to blood barrage. Wow, I didn't expect the mage to die there. Alright, we'll get back to our start spot. That was exciting. Double blob waves, wow. Make sure we have the right gear on, of course. It's good to check things like that. I mean, I know it sounds obvious, but that's also why I keep my inventory organized in such a specific way. The buckler is here for the 50 plus waves where I'm going to want the... It actually gives quite a bit of range defense, believe it or not, so it's not only just for Zuck, actually. I guess I stand corrected from my earlier comment. It's also for waves 50 plus where we want the range defense going into the start of the wave. We'll definitely be of health, and then... yeah. But for now we can just... We might even want to wear it on these waves, but... I mean, yeah, I guess we could. Just for the bats and for the blobs, but... Bats we want to pray against anyways. Here, the bat's gonna get corner trapped, so we just get to kill the mage, hopefully before the melee digs. We'll see. I think we finish. Nice. Okay, it's like perfect on the timing. I like it. So here we're pulling in the mage. It's gonna be something we're gonna do a lot. Alright, I'm glad they both died. That definitely makes it easier. Can't complain about this run so far, really. I mean, 27 minutes in, pretty much like the pace I would expect, I would say. A little low on prayer, I mean, that's just gonna happen, I guess. We're gonna do the off-tick thing here. So here I just wanted to drag the mage in case the melee respawns, which it did. Because if it spawned like more in the middle, it might have been able to get to me without dragging the mage in here. I wasn't even really sure. I didn't really count the tiles or anything, but I had a feeling. So I just wanted to play safe there. And I know if the melee digs here, I'll be safe if I go around the pillar to this tile, one south of the marked tile here. But instead we just kill that, so it's nice. Trying to save just a little bit of prayer. Buckler on, I guess, is good. Here we can wait and get them all in one go. Alright, so we're 111 range instead of 112, but because our divine's running out, it doesn't really matter too much. Nice, I got to a spot next to the melee, which is nice. Alright, we have 8 prayer potions left. Whatever you want to call them, Amphiserums. Alright, hopefully these are just off-ticked. Okay, of course they're not. Now they are. See, sometimes you just gotta fix your problems. Pillars are like super healthy, so I'm not very concerned about that anymore. Hit the prayer regen, of course. Probably should have blood barraged, but that's okay. I'm gonna ice barrage here again, because I feel like I'm high enough HP. I hope these are off tick. It's basically the same strat as last time. As you can see, the blowpipe, very strong weapon. Really the only downside is the range. Like, having a low attack range is like, makes it very, wouldn't say difficult to play the waves, but you have to think a lot more in exactly what you do. I guess here we should probably heal up. Just wanted to make sure they're off tick there, you know, again, I mean, this isn't a guide, just, I probably should have said that earlier, but definitely not a guide, so to speak. I mean, although I am trying to explain my thought process a little bit, but I am just taking the advanced salves to save my supplies a little bit. I don't have to brew, it just makes things easier in the long run. So here we're gonna make sure our tank gear is on, basically. We're gonna get the Phantom Barrage off of that Nibbler at the end anyway. Okay, we didn't heal that much, but it's fine. Alright, that wasn't ideal, but we ended up 99 HP, so I'll take it. Okay, so 10 seconds until redivine, which probably should have did already, but it's okay. We were actually a tick late there. If we got here a tick earlier, this thing wouldn't be meleeing us. That's okay, because we still get the corner trap here. We still got the same result. We just took a couple of ranger melees, but that's not a big deal. So there, that's a little trick. I mean, it's not even a trick. It's we're gonna have to drag in the mage anyway, so just want to do that as early as you can. And obviously this is why Bofa is just so great, because you don't have to do half as much weird shenanigans, although the Sov would have been kind of similar there, admittedly, but... Still, Bofa's like crazy though. Definitely don't recommend this setup for first Inferno. This is the same thing. And here, I know the blob was gonna mage me there, so I just timed my going around the corner with the blob attack in there. And again, because we protected our pillars so much at the beginning, we don't have to worry as much now, especially if it's only one nibbler. We're not quite worried at, like, we're not really worried in the slightest, I should say. Here I just see that they're applicable. That was kind of the same thing where I saw the blob was going to range and then I knew the stuff on this side of the pillar was range, so similar kind of thing there. Missing a tick there. You know, we've been missing ticks here and there, but it should go without saying this isn't like a tick perfect run by any means, especially not while I'm commentating, but I am trying to do my best and I've been doing quite good so far, I will say. Don't really have to walk back to the start tile much anymore. It's kind of an unnecessary tech, I'll say. I think I'm off cycle here. There we go. Always nice to get the free blowpipe heals. This is just a 2-tick alternate with the mage and the blob. A little bit hard to do 2-tick alternate as a learner, just want to put that out there. So, you know, obviously if you're less experienced, just 1-tick alternating always is completely fine. It's nice to have to click less, but it does require you to know a little bit about the cycles to 2-tick, so not the easiest thing in the world, but definitely nice when you're experienced to be able to do that for sure. So we're gonna get ready to reprayer regen. We're always keeping an eye on that because we definitely don't want to forget to do that. Okay, so again, only one nibbler on the pillar, not a huge deal. We're not gonna panic over that. Camp and rigor because we have the OP ring, which is very OP. What can I say? Very enjoyable. Very chill. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Some people enjoy the melee kill ring. I'm more of a... Definitely more of a... focusing on flicking kind of guy. It sucks to take extra damage. Okay, nice, we got the one shot on the mini blobs, always nice to see. Just gonna make sure you see I'm always regenning my prayer in between waves. And here again, we're gonna wanna, once again, step behind here to drag the mage in. You're gonna see, it's kind of like similar things you're gonna see. I didn't mean to take that melee hit, but you'll see the melee gets corner trapped, so it's the same as the range getting corner trapped here on the other wave. And we're just trying to lock in because we are on some tough waves coming up, basically. I think we have quite a lot of supplies, though. I'm not really worried. I'm not really gonna try too hard to conserve or anything. Especially not in these hard ways where we want to be focused up. Don't want to be distracted by conserving our prayer points. Not on these waves. But here we'll just camp rigor at the beginning of the wave. We'll just make it easy. Okay, flick the bat once at least, which is good. Not ideal to step to where I step to because I dragged the mage up like this so it can't be re-corner trapped. If that was a melee respawn, that might have gotten a little annoying, but luckily it was a bat, so never punished. Feels good. Don't exactly care about that pillar too much. We do want to try to save it if we can, though. We'll send a blowpipe spec just because we're full spec. Get our spec regenning, may as well. Did that kill all of them? Yeah, okay, that's good. Hopefully that kills before it digs, would be very nice. Nice. So we're not gonna blow our blowpipe spec now because we already have our spec regenning. I wanted to use it because I was 100 spec, so we're not getting any value out of our spec regen. Again, make sure we're up on our prayer before the wave starts. You know, I bet with all our mage gear, we could probably just do this. Yeah, it kind of makes it a little nice. Okay, that was sick. I barely avoided the ranger hits. That's nice. Pretty happy with how I played that wave, I won't lie. So hopefully this doesn't respawn anything annoying. You see, even on a sub 65 speedrun, it's still fine to kill things before you kill the mage sometimes. Especially if you're making sure not to miss ticks and you're making sure you finish the mage basically ASAP. That is just something to keep in mind on any sub 65 run. So once again, we've seen this before. You know, it's a little precise, but even if you weren't to do that completely perfectly, we've seen once before I've been a tick late and the ranger can melee you then. You know, things like that can happen, but if you're 2 ticks late, then the ranger might get uncorner trapped and then you might have to off-tick the range in the mage. Things might get complicated. Luckily here we have a very, very easy solve. We just kill things one by one. We move up here because the melee takes so long to die that we'd be waiting forever for the ranger to drag out. Just saving us a tiny, tiny bit of time. Checking our potion timers, because we're always trying to keep on top of those, so Divine Bastion's coming up soon. In fact, might want to do that now and heal up to full, actually. Alright, making sure we're high. I almost said mana. I don't know where that came from. Alright, I kind of eyeballed it and I was pretty sure these were off-ticked. So that is good for us. Didn't actually want to kill that ranger there. Don't think that killed everything. That's so annoying. Oh, that didn't either. Wow, okay. Man. Why can't things just work out the way I want them to? Oh. Wasn't exactly what I meant, but it'll do. We're on wave 62, one of the hardest waves, so we'll rigor on for sure. This is very bad. Okay, if the melee digs, we're gonna have to off-tick the range and the mage. That's about it. So, for the purpose of doing that, I just ignored the bat. I know it looked kinda monk-esque for sure, but solvable. And personally, in my opinion, 62 is definitely the hardest wave, even harder than 63, so any way we can get through 62 cleanly is good by me. I'm very happy with that. Always take those. And we're gonna heal up as much as we can though, that's for sure. We don't want to underestimate 63, even though I don't think it's the hardest, but obviously not underestimating it. So we are gonna try to heal up. Try being the key word. Very key word there. Well, this is annoying. The second blob can't see us, which is nice. That is one nice thing. Just gonna go south of the pillar and then one tick, alternate. I think they're on a tick where I could 2-tick alternate, but I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna remain in my cycle here. Kind of just got spooked there a little bit. I don't know why. I mean, I knew it could respawn that, but I mean, we're just gonna take a very, very simple solve here. You're probably wondering, what am I gonna do? Off-tick these things? Hell no, I'm chilling. I think I can actually just go here. Yeah, there you go. Don't even have to miss a tick. There you go. Oh, that is so annoying. Hit already. Oh, why did I use... Okay, rigor wasn't the right prayer. Also, I should be blood barraging. Alright, we got some health back. After redivine, we're gonna want a blood barrage. Gonna do the off-tick trick here. I don't know what else to call it, so I call it the off-tick trick. That's called the take a range hit for no reason trick. That's a really good one. Wow. Awesome job. Yeah. Oh shit. It's okay, I knew that was all gonna happen exactly like that. I'm just kidding, I had no clue that was gonna happen like that, but fortunately it did. So I think we have enough prayer. Double ranger next wave is kind of annoying. I'm only 56 HP, so that's like kind of annoying. Alright, well that's not annoying. That's a nice, easy spawn. Well, we'll take those for sure. I mean, I'll take those any day. So that's pretty much the waves done. Jads are pretty simple. It actually turns out that our blowpipe is still better for Jads than the Armadyl crossbow. Also, the Armadyl crossbow with the ruby bolt is gonna drain our health, which we definitely don't want, so... You have to imagine, especially throughout triple Jads, it's a pretty long fight. And it actually would end up doing quite a lot of damage to ourselves, especially considering we're wearing no defensive gear, so that's the reasoning there. So we want to let the nibs pull up here so we can blood barrage them. Don't ask what that was. Can I hit? Alright, nice, that's good. Alright, so 3.5, restore. It's good, I think it's good. I don't see why not. So again, we're gonna just use the blowpipe for this. Don't ask why I did that. Oh my god, the nerves from the ACB cape, I'm shaking. I'm just kidding, I actually did this the other day in practice, so... It's really just like pretty similar to a Bofa cape at the end of the day. Thought I got that one, but it's actually one tile off. A little fun fact here is the healers are 4 tick and the Jad is 8 tick here. So if the healer and Jad are off-ticked, they're gonna remain off-ticked because they're kind of in like the same cycle, as I don't pray against the melee, but it's okay. So here it's just always gonna be in the same cycle. And we can actually pray against every single healer hit here, which is very nice. Just a little nice tech, not anything groundbreaking. There we just got a little cheeky heal off of. This is obviously annoying, given that it is just kind of longer than a normal triples, but not really technically any harder. Here we definitely don't want to use the Armadyl crossbow. It's gonna drain way too much health. Any ruby bolt specs is basically a bad thing, because we don't want to lose any health. The Ruby Bolt specs cost health, so definitely don't want to be getting drained. Alright, that was professional movement there. We got the healer trap. I think that's really funny. Around the start, I said something like, oh, I might talk less during this because I'm focusing, and then like, I just yapped the whole thing, but yeah, welcome to my channel. I mean, what can I say? If it's your first time here and this is your first video, then welcome, and I don't know why it's your first video, but it is. But no, I mean, honestly, just thank you guys, honestly, for all the support. Just want to make that abundantly clear that I am appreciative. 2.5k subs, that's no small feat, honestly. That's like a really, really huge milestone we reached recently, so just want to say thank you guys. If you're still watching right now, then leave me a sub for talking the whole triple Jads while I'm focused. Oh wow, I almost just missed that prayer. Maybe I should focus more. Nah, I'm fine. I could never die. I've never died at triples. I've totally died at triples. Anyone who says they've never died at triples is a liar, okay? Do not believe them. That's coming from me. I have almost 500 Inferno KC. If someone says they haven't died at triples, they are a liar. And a thief. No, I'm kidding. No, but they're definitely lying. Alright, so we'll see how Zuck goes. It basically depends on our Ruby proc RNG. I think on average we expect like maybe 2 or so. We'll see what we get though. It's definitely up to RNG. Will be fun to see though. I think the Zuck is kind of the highlight of this run, in my opinion. Again, this is a live commentary, just saying. But I just feel like Zuck is like a really fun part of this, just because we get to see if we get any Ruby procs, which that'll be fun. Don't think this one will get trapped that way. So this Jad is actually 9 tick because triple Jads are the only Jads in the whole game that are 9 tick. So this is actually like, I don't know if you're paying attention to like the healer hitting me with Jad hitting me. It's now a little off sync instead because the healer's still 4 tick like it used to be, but Jad is now 9 tick instead of 8 tick. I'm just saying compared to the previous wave. Alright, let's do this thing. Still have all of our brews. Technically should have maybe brewed up for Zuck, I guess. Luckily with Armadale Crossbow we can reach from all of the safe spots still. Except I don't think we can hit Jad from the western safe spot. The western safe spot we can't hit Jad, so... Or it might be the east one. Actually, I think it might be the east one. I'm not even sure, okay? Alright, there's one Re. Take what we can get here. Alright, 2. That's, I would say already like above average. Make sure not to run out too early. Okay, I thought I bashed, but I didn't, which actually ends up being a good thing, I guess. Oh, that's huge. Okay, that's huge. I mean, you know, we take those, that's for sure. We just have to remember at 580 we could proc Jad, so that's just something to be mindful of. Like we could hit like one more time and be in Jad proc range. So we do have to be like a little bit mindful of that. That shouldn't be... Okay, there we go. Now we can't hit it anymore, so we gotta be really careful. I wanna be careful walking out there too. Don't be so tick perfect. Let's see if we can proc the Jad. Hopefully stamina doesn't become an issue. I didn't really consider that much, but I don't think it should be an issue. Actually, I don't want to speak too soon. I think we're doing good on supplies though. That was very risky. We're probably sending healers, as crazy as it sounds, but you'd think we'd wait for a set, but not at this rate. Okay, so just for clarity, it's the western safe spot we can't attack from. This western Zuck safe spot, we can't attack Jad from. We get dragged out, so we just have to keep that in mind. Alright, so this safe spot we can hit from. We'll just keep sending Zuck, because at this point we're pacing, I guess. Don't think a Ruby hits that high from this HP. Don't think it hits that high. Probably gonna be next corner. Yeah, I was actually scared that might have done it, but... Alright, so here we'll just brew up the full. Bastion. Proc this bitch. Get back behind the shield. You see I did that little movement. Now I'm gonna tag these next healers. Almost went too early. That was, again, like, right on the edge of good timing, so be maybe a little more careful than me. Getting a little extra hit in here. Every healer's like one hit from dead, but I'm not gonna complain about that. Alright, we got a minute 30 left. Just gotta keep DPSing. Good thing we didn't wait, that's for sure. So far, so good with the hits. Makes me a little nervous that we only have like a little bit more than a minute left. But we're pretty much pacing. Our run energy's a little low. I sent the ACB spec. I'm all in for this. Come on. Come on, ACB. Okay, good. Come on. It's so close. No, don't read me there. Come on. Accurate. No. We failed. All those little ticks made a difference. No. It's still fun. That was still so much fun though. I love doing capes with like ACB capes are pretty fun, honestly. The waves with the blowpipe, you know, not the easiest, but I don't know. Nonetheless, I have fun doing ACB cape. Kind of makes me feel a little bit old school, like how people would do it back in the old days. So just a pretty big fan of that. 7 seconds off. Are you kidding me? I might have to come back and try that again, but it's definitely possible. You know, if it's a boot diff, because if I had the right boots, you know, if I had the quiver or I had the whatever the heck boots they're called, you know, the Vernic Treads Max, you know, either one of those, you know, or if I flicked my prayers, but I'm not doing that shit. You know me. Ring of the Gods, Ring of the Goats, honestly. Very highly recommended. I definitely recommend Ring of the Gods. I just want to put that out there as an aside, but 7 seconds off. If the ACB hit a little harder, it could have happened, but nonetheless, I'll probably still post that. It was a fun run nonetheless, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that kind of random video from me, but maybe I'll try it again and just get the 7 seconds shaved off. I don't know. I mean, let me know if you want me to try again. I probably won't. Maybe I will. Who knows? I don't know. You decide. But thanks for watching, and peace out, everyone. Hold on, I'll do that better. And peace.